Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
Welcome to another edition of our Instagram Live. My name hasn't changed. My name remains Azuh, Arinze. And today we shall be discussing with Professor Bob Ejike. Professor Bob Ejike, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the most talented Nigerians that I know. He is an actor. He is a singer, he's a dancer, he's a teacher, he is this and he is that. Professor Bob Ejike was born on April 20, 1961. He is from Umahia in Abia State. Of course, he was educated in Nigeria and overseas. He prides himself as the founder of Nollywood, and that is also one of the things we'll be discussing with him once he comes on this afternoon. Yes. So now I will shoot straight.
Yes.
I need you to take us through how your romance with showbiz started.
Well, I would say that my showbiz romance started when I was a child. I inherited certain gifts through my maternal grandfather, who was a guitarist and a musician during the World War II. I was a child. With primary school, I went to WTC practicing school in Enugu. I used to create stories. When it was time for stories, I didn't read. Others read books to tell their stories. I just stood up and spontaneously created my own stories.
Okay.
Almost after that period, I started writing. And I started my career as a writer. First as a short story writer, as a poetry writer. I was writing for Drum Magazine, which, if you remember, it used to be somewhere in Yaba.
Yes, I remember. I remember the magazine.
Yes, I was sharing the short story page with another young, very talented writer called Ben Okri.
Okay. You know? Who later became an award-winning writer, The Family's Land or so.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
I became the first person to write a thesis, graduation thesis, on the works of Okri. Because I knew Okri better than most people. I wrote with him every week.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
So as time went on, I started writing for radio, drama. That was popular then, the voice drama. And I got training in ABS TV Enugu under Emeka Ekpokoba. And it was intensive. So I got trained, and I became not only a writer, but a voice actor. So I started as a voice actor, not as a screen actor. And then from voice acting, as television evolved and became more popular, initially it was exclusive for the rich. the poor used to sit out at the windows of the rich to peep into their houses to watch TV.
I remember those
Now,
days.
people getting richer started buying TV. So naturally, we moved over to TV, and I was in Enugu. And Enugu had a great TV station in ABS TV, then Anambra Broadcasting. And they had everything we need. Even the New Masquerade and the Basi and Co. All of them settled in Enugu. New Masquerade moved over. Even Village Headmaster moved from Lagos because Enugu had better facilities. And I started writing for Basi and Co. I moved from the Enugu Naso UB of Edith Stelly Orji, who was called Aduke. And I moved from that. I was working then with Nkemo, who later became a comedian. He wasn't a comedian then. He became Oswafia later with time. I was working with Nkemo, Ejike Siebu, KOK, Kanayo, O Kanayo, and a number of other, the cast of Basi and Co. Because I started writing with Ken Sarowiwa, bless his soul, blessed memories. I started writing, so both of us were writing the scripts for Basi and Co. And I started acting for Basi and Co. And then the fame started growing. And I was frequent guest on NTA Sound City. But I came to these programs to recite poetry. And it was when I met with the wonder boy, Chris Okotie. He's one man that I admire very greatly. He's my very good friend. And when I met him, believe it or not, he used to live in one room with his siblings, all 6 in number.
Wow.
And he had just made his first album called In the Beginning. And managed to get, I think, 3,000 naira. But they told me, you know, not many people are reading poetry now. You can be a great poet, but you'll be wasted. Try to convert these your poems into songs. Can you create with me? And I teach you. Come with me, I teach you. He took me home. Then he started teaching me how to sing. And it was from Chris Okotie. I understudied him. And I learned all his songs. In the line, I'm gone to Carolina. I see the sun shining. I think about the moonlight. The world is just like a friend of mine. It took me from behind. When I'm gone to Carolina in my mind. You
deserve a round of applause for that.
I clap for myself.
Yes. Before we round off, you still sing another of Chris Okotie's songs for us. Yes, so go ahead.
Yes, I knew all his songs.
Yeah.
Yes. And well, from at some point, well, I entered the university then, University of Port Harcourt, and I collaborated with a young man who had come from the UK, the master's degree in film. His name is the Honorable Chief Festus Igalo. Honorable Chief because he became chief after he eventually went into politics.
Festus Igalo.
Yes. He was at that time one of the few Nigerians who had studied filmmaking.
What year was this?
1982.
All right.
In 1982, he was one of the few Nigerians. There were a lot of people in film. I was relating and collaborating with the chief Edu Boma. I knew about Herbert Ogunde and Ola Balogun, the erudite doctor, and all of them, you know. But Festus and I had a different concept. You understand?
Yeah.
The idea was to take the film directly to the people, not to make people come to the cinema. Because people are not coming to cinema. There's a lot of crime. You couldn't go out at night and a whole lot of issues. But my idea was that if we took this film to the people, because we are very talented people, I could see that there's a way the Nigerian interprets every artistic situation differently.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that if we moved, I mean, if people could run home, women could run home to watch Fani Kayode Mirror in the Sun.
Mirror in the Sun, yeah.
Lola Fani Kayode's Mirror in the Sun. Every woman left her boyfriend and husband to go and watch it. I knew we could control the entertainment of not only Nigeria, but the whole of Africa and the diaspora. I knew that. You understand? And the hindrance we had was just the arrogant television network. There was only one network, NTA. So if you went, even this discussion I'm having now, I had it then and they heard me, that's the end of my career. There was something they called banning. They ban you, which they did to Onyeka when she asked, because she had done a program for them when she was nobody, and now she became Onyeka. Great. They still wanted to put that program out there for free, and she said no. Now the Onyeka I am is not the same Onyeka that I recorded this. You have to pay me. And they said no. You don't pay this and all of that. And then we are banned. And all of us stood. I stood with Charlie Boy, Onyeka, and a couple of other artists in front of NTA, facing the mobile police with their guns pointed at us. You know, to protest the rights of Nigerian artists.
Yes.
You know, but that's another story.
Yes, back to what we are discussing. I mean, you claim, or rather, you are said to be one of the founders of Nollywood. I need you to let us know how you arrived at that. Do I say conclusion? Yes. So that's why I'm trying to bring you back.
See, I don't claim to be the founder of Nollywood.
Okay.
When I set out, I didn't set out to found Nollywood. No.
Okay.
I set out simply to create something from which our artists would benefit, have a job. We were getting a lot of insults from television. The TV, which was run by engineers and, you know, technicians, had little respect for artists. They told us in the face that our works were useless. You know, but my idea, I was more interested in moving our activities directly to the people in order to avoid the insults we were getting. So I wasn't out there trying to create Nollywood. And when some of the people who doubt my pioneering role in Nollywood is because they have no imagination. Do you know why I say that?
No.
Because they think that the Nollywood I created is this great Nollywood. They don't realize that when a child is born, it's very small.
Yeah.
Then it grows into Goliath, and then you look at the mother, and the mother is small. Say, oh, that can be the mother.
Okay. Now I understand.
There was no video industry at all. Therefore, there was nothing. It was in a void when I made the first Nollywood film. And it's not a claim. It's not a claim because I won the national award. How can it be a claim? When it's on record that I won the award, 1983, Echoes of Wrath. Go to the National Archives, check it. I won the award. This little me.
Echoes of what did you call the title again?
Echoes of Wrath. I won the. If you are doubting anything, go and ask Richard Moffat Omijo. I launched him. He was the star of that film.
Yes. Now, which brings me, in one of the interviews that Richard Moffat Omijo granted me, he acknowledged the fact that you gave him the first opportunity to act. So how do you feel about how big and how great he has become today.
That was the idea. That was the concept. Richard is only one of my sons. Everybody in Nollywood is my child. I created that industry. Of course, I don't know why you people find this fun.
I like that. I like that. I mean,
they are all my children.
Yeah.
From Genevieve, when she sees me, she kneels down, she puts her knees on the ground. Do you understand?
Yes.
Or Mokolajala, all the great stars that people revere, they kneel down. Because I created a platform on which they made this greatness that you're talking about. I am not just an artist, but an artistic technocrat. You understand?
I love that. I love it. Now, why is it that most people in that sector have not given you your due respect for, I mean, curating Nollywood? Why do you think that they have continued to deny you that credit? Or some of them have
nobody. People have acknowledged me. The industry respects me. The industry reveres me. And of course, I don't expect the same reverence I get from Sebejiro to come from these new boys born the other day who don't know, have a sense of history. They don't know. All they know is that they are Nollywood actors. They don't care. Even if you tell somebody told me I was telling boring history. It's going to bore you with history. They are not interested in history. They don't care who created what. They just don't have a sense of hierarchy. Some of these younger ones. So, but I don't blame them. We're in a country where you don't study history, so history has no relevance whatsoever. Whatever you did, Nigerians, because you don't study history, they don't like anything that is old. If an artist starts to become mature, they say he's too old. Said old artist, out of the way. They are looking for new things that have no experience, no basis, no background. Those are the things that Nigerians love. But everywhere I have gone, nations and organizations have thrown out the red carpet. I have been in 21 countries receiving awards. Do you understand?
Yes,
when I stepped into Uganda, I was received by the presidency. And for the next 5 years, I was working from Museveni's office. Do you understand? To create an indigenous film industry for Uganda.
Okay,
I was working directly. Sorry?
Yes, you created an industry for them. You created their own film industry also.
Well, I don't want to say that because I was deputizing the Honorable General Eli Tunwine, who is the second most powerful man in Uganda, currently the security minister. I was deputizing him, so I cannot lay claim to what was already on the ground before I arrived.
Okay, you contributed. You're all right.
Yes, I did contribute because they wanted to know how we did this magic
Nollywood
in Nigeria. So my job was to advise them, basically.
All right.
So
now,
I.
This your love for show business. What would you say has kept it going?
Why we are artists, why we create, why we persist in creating is basically we have a message which we believe will better the society. And this message, because we're artists, we put them in artistic forms.
All right.
Now, why we are artists, we don't know why we are artists, but we are chosen people. God chose us. Put across this message.
All right.
And therefore, we are bombarded with ideas that are beyond our power, beyond our control of our existence. And therefore, we must continue to express ourselves or we go crazy. You understand what I mean? When people ask, why am I an artist? Why do I insist on being an artist? I don't know. I just know that these ideas that come into my head, they've got to come out. I don't know where the music comes from. I don't know where the stories come from. But I wake up with them. and they fill up my head and I can't think of what to bring them out.
Wow, wow. Now, what do you like most about being an artist?
I like the impact, the changes that the art can bring in people's lives. You know, because we're a society that has not yet developed certain areas, we don't know how many of us are crazy, but somebody said about 70% of us are mad. And I have no reason to doubt it. All you need to do is to be in the traffic in Lagos for 4 hours, and you know that everybody in that traffic is crazy. There's no way you can be normal if you do 4 hours to work, 4 hours home.
All right. Now, what
it is our job. We are psychiatrists. We are mad doctors. Our job is to cure that madness. That's why we bring interludes of sanity. That's what we do with our art. You understand?
Yeah.
Interludes of sanity.
I like that.
Now that you're asking me, just let me ask you one question. Now you're asking me if I am recognized.
Yeah.
But I was invited to Chicago to the Igbo Fest, and I met your brother there. And we spent a week together in which I performed for the whole Igbo race in Chicago. Didn't he tell you that?
He did. He did.
So why are you saying I'm not recognized?
I'm a journalist. I'm trying to ask questions.
So, don't mind me. I'm just trying. I want to harass you a little. I'm also a journalist. Don't forget.
It's all right. It's all right. So, what don't you like about being an artist?
Well, I like being an artist, but being a Nigerian artist is difficult. Being a Nigerian artist.
What's wrong with being a Nigerian artist?
One, the Nigerian populace don't believe that the artists have bills to pay. They pay rent. They may want to build a house. They may want to, marry a wife, raise children, and they have the same school fees and everything that comes. So they had people come in. They love your work so much. Then they tell you, "Oh, God, give me money." How can I give you money? I've already spent money to make the work you like. You are the one to give me money. Hey, star, superstar. We are your boys, so we are here. Give us money. But I'm the one who should be giving money.
I like that. So, what is the commonest mistake that most artists make?
The most common mistake
that
artists make is one, if you assume that you are going to be there all the time and be relevant all the time and be excited all the time to the crowds, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. These mistakes come from your financial management.
Okay.
When you begin to spend money, go around, have fun, and then suddenly, if you look, you see there are a lot of deaths occurring in Nollywood. Ernest Azuh has just departed, bless his soul. My friend Chico, I'm still mourning. My friend Chico Ejiro.
Yeah, I know your Chico is your friend. We'll still talk about that. We'll get to that. Yes.
Now, the thing is, if you go to look at why these artists are dying, it is because as we get older, all manner of diseases come, especially high blood pressure, diabetes. They come because of the food we eat, which is starch-based, and the stress in our society. So once you start getting up to 50 or so, that you need to have health care, health insurance. You need to be on medication and all of that. And you don't have the money anymore because you spent it in your youth. You didn't make any savings. The industry does not provide surplus for artists. They think that the artist is the banker and should take a salary and be okay with it. They don't realize this. We wait. There's a friend of mine that I asked when I came in, and I asked, "How do you cope? You made only 2 films in the year." He said, "Thank God for our wives." Now, if you are in Nollywood and you marry a woman that is unemployed, you probably starve to death.
Really?
Because by the time you get another sponsor, you'll be dead. And you get old, you cannot afford to buy medicine for high blood pressure. The next thing, you start begging the Nigerian community that you are in this hospital. I lost a lot of very good friends that way. It's very sad. And I'm happy that I'm not living in Nigeria, because at this age, if I was living, maybe I would have been dead myself.
All right.
You know, Azuh, there is one area of my life that I have not developed. I don't know if I'm too old to develop it.
Which one is that?
Comedy.
You're not too old. You're not too old. Oh, all right.
The problem is, whenever I want to be funny, nobody laughs.
But I'm laughing.
When I'm talking normally, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be serious. That's why people laugh.
I like that. I like that. Now, what is the greatest thing that being an artist has done for you?
Being an artist has opened the door for me to see the work of God. It has taken me to nations, peaks, landscapes that I never imagined that I would see. When I was a child, I used to read a lot. Can you believe that? At the age of 6, I had read almost all the books of Chinua Achebe.
Interesting. Interesting.
I told Achebe that he didn't believe it. I was 6 when I read Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God.
Wow.
What's the name? The other short story, Beware Soul Brother, was the poetry book. There was this short story with the Mwibe that was a chief that chased a madman into the market and then became a madman himself. And the story was madman. I read all those when I was about 6 years of age,
wow.
During the Biafran War.
Wow. Wow. All right. So what would you have wanted showbiz to do for you that it hasn't done?
Well, I have made a lot of headline success, what they call media success. I would have liked a larger percentage of that to translate into commercial success. Not because I'm greedy, because I have so many projects that I need money to realize. Nollywood is just one of my projects. I have bigger projects than Nollywood. Still lying in this head that when they come out, if they come out, these economic issues they are talking about will be history. When I was telling them, look, do you know that the art can save us from our economic circumstance? And people say, you are crazy, get out. Don't know what you're talking about. But do you know how much Nollywood is raking into the country now? Every year.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, to have a taste of success in your line of business, what must one do?
Well, you have to have first of all, you have to have a very good organization around you, and you have to be able to listen very well and love your critics. Don't hate people when they show dissent in what you're doing. No, when they say, look, try it this way, it could be better. It's very important to, like I said, manage your finances well, channel your, I don't believe in art for art's sake. I did that over 40 years. Now I do art for money's sake.
I like that. I like that. Now, I need you to tell us about your first time on stage, both as an actor and as a musician. Can you remember the first time ever that you acted, the first time ever that you sang?
Well, the first time I acted was on, of course, I want to remove the voice acting because no one saw me.
Yeah.
But it was on television still because TV was the only consumer of our art at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a bit difficult to judge the reactions, but I'm thinking to remember, I know when I was a student in Uniport, I did a lot of shows in Port Harcourt, but I do remember specifically one that I did in UST Port Harcourt with Daniel Wilson. If you remember him, he's a dear friend of mine.
I know him very well.
And that was the first day I met Daniel Wilson, and we met on stage, and we had a fight immediately.
Okay, what caused the fight?
No, I was put to play with Daniel, and Daniel was not the big star you know now. I was the bigger star. Yeah? So I said, let Daniel rehearse throughout the afternoon. I'll start my rehearsal by 6. And he had the whole afternoon. I was told he came by 2 or so. He had rehearsed for so many hours. Then at 6 when I came, I expected him to just leave the microphone and go and sit down. He refused.
So a fight now erupted.
Yeah, I just said, please, it's my turn to rehearse. And he said, oh, and you ask if I finished. I said, you've been here since 2 o'clock. What else do you want? If from now 2 till now you have not finished, what do you want to do?
What year was this? What year was this?
Around 1984.
All right. All right. All right. So what stands Ejike out? What separates you from all the other people who also do what you do? What distinguishes you?
Okay. Beside the fact that I created the 3rd biggest movie industry in the world, which stands me out everywhere in the world, not just in Nigeria or Africa. You know, everywhere I step in and I say Ejike, the doors open immediately. And the obeisance follows. Beside that, because that's history, I don't like really going back to the past. I like to go forward, new things that should come that are greater than what we had in the past. Beside that is the fact that I am probably the only artist I know, I don't know about others, who is able to write a novel, and I have 5 novels on sale. That's what I speak.
Wow. That's nice.
Who is able to write the screenplay, do the soundtrack, score the soundtrack, the theme music, do the acting as well, direct, produce, sing, perform live, record, do modeling. I want you to remember that I was the main male model in Nigeria in the 90s. I don't know if you ever saw any of the modeling.
Yes, I think I saw one of the calendars or so back then.
I did a lot of TV. I did Maltex. I did Maggie, Budombo Maggie, which was international. You know, I did a series of banks. There was a time that if you turned on the TV within 2 hours, you saw Ejike.
I like that.
So I happen to have the only area of the art where I am denied is fine art. I'm not able to draw a circle.
All right. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Now, you know, as at the time you plunged into entertainment, it wasn't one of those highly accepted and recognized professions. I mean, As at that time, most parents would have wanted their children to delve into maybe law, medicine, engineering, and stuff. What gave you the encouragement? What gave you the push? To continue to trudge on in a totally different terrain.
To add to what you are saying, I was in Enugu, and I had fallen in love with this pretty young girl, and we had agreed to meet, and she invited me home. And then I knock on the door, pop, 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 and the mother opens the door and said, "Ah, is that not the man that I saw singing on television? Is that not Bob Ejike?" I say, "Yes, I am Bob Ejike." He said, "What? And you are here for what?" I say, "I'm here to see your daughter." "My daughter? With musician? You are crazy. Get out of my house." Wow. He called the girl. "Are you mad? You following musicians? Don't you know they are useless people?"
Wow.
And that was at least this woman was blunt. She came out. The Lord will smile. And when you go away, she tell the daughter, "Please avoid these musicians." Because then, it was not until Ofege emerged and made success, followed by Chris Okotie and Bongo Sikwe, Chris Okotie, and Jidobi, Loverboy, Felix Liberty, to whom I have a lot of respect. He was my very good friend. At the beginning, you know, DZK Falola, these are all people that I performed with, you know, when music was music. now music is noise. Don't say I told you.
I won't tell anyone.
Thank you.